funds availability also checked during the same time. Suppose you are deposited money. There are a system called IX settlement account. So it is just like a escrow arrangement in which buyer has to deposit the money. Average he can take the 7 days, last 7 days price average, and he has to deposit. Suppose he want to buy 1 megawatt, so average is 2.5. So accordingly he can deposit that much amount of money. And suppose you want to bid for the 2 megawatt, and your money deposited at your settlement account is for the only 1 megawatt, then you cannot bid for. So that uh, fund availability is also checked by IX. So accordingly you have to keep your fund resource in your settlement account. Uh, Next, till from 1 am to 2 am, corridor availability is checked by NLDC, and result that has been declared by NLDC, that is final ACV, that is area clearing volume, and area clearing price is calculated if there is a congestion and market splitting is there. If it is there, then area splitting is done, and area clearing volume and area clearing price has been discovered. Final confirmation to the either to buyer or to the seller. For the industry, it will be the buyer side. They get around 5 to 5:30 p.m. and that has been confirmed by NLDC, and it comes to the upstream, like from NLDC to RLDC, RLDC to SLDC, and the schedule it will inform to the your trader, and trader through then to a client. Clients means industries, those who are buying. They will get a obligation report. In obligation report, it is clearly mentioned you have bidded for so many hours at so and so price. You know the price, but at what is the clearing price, and what is the clearing volume. Everything is there in the your obligation report, and it is just like an invoice. And it in the price, in that there is a price also. What are the other charges, like transmission charges and billing charges, we will discuss in later. That is also mentioned in the your obligation report. So that is the complete, just like an invoice to you, how much power you have bid, and how much you have actually received. You are going to receive for the next day. Scheduling, that is final schedule that is sent by RLDC for the incorporation from the 00 hours, means for the next day. Actually, we have the two types of bids. First, we call it as a single bid, a single portfolio bid, and another is the block bid. In single bid, you have to bid for the next for the 15-minute time block, and that can be suppose for this 00 to 0015 you can bid for 1 megawatt, and for the next 15-minute slots you can bid for 2 megawatt at the varying price. You have the options. In case of the price options also, you have around 63 price options, and up to 20 rupees you can bid. We have actually capped it at 20 rupees, but there are certain buyers in southern region, those are power, they are in the so much need, they bid for the 20 rupees also. So it is in single bid you have the multiple options. Whereas in the block bid, basically block bid is there for the, suppose there is a continuous industry, or they are running for the 24 hours for the same quantum. They have a very good option of the block bid. And suppose there is and another industries, like they have the off or slagging period of 4 hours in between. Suppose morning 4 am to morning 10 am. There is a quantum, they want power of around 5 megawatt. And if they get that power, then slagging period, suppose there is from 10 am to evening 6, and again evening 6 to till 11 pm, they need again 5 megawatt. So they can bid it in blocks, like 5 megawatt for this particular hours, 5 megawatt for this and actually you can link these bids also. Suppose you can if you don't get power in the morning, what you will do for the power of evening. So you can actually link. We call it as mother or child bid. So, but you can circulate it. So we call it as the block bid. Block bid is basically for those even more favorable for the discoms also, and those industry those have you have the suppose they have the dependency for the particular hours also. How the algorithm runs, we will see in this slides. This is the price tick 0, 1, 1.2 and 2 rupees till 20 rupees you can bid. Portfolio A means suppose there is one buyer who want to buy a power at any there is portfolio B and portfolio C. So there are three buyers. Suppose they have bid for the they want a 20 megawatt at 0 rupees, and again at 1 megawatt they want 20 rupees till 3 rupees they can bear for the 20 megawatt. Later when the price increases at 3.1, they have reduced the quantum for the 10 megawatt, and later they have again reduced the quantum till 3.8. At 4 when price reaches at 4 rupees, they have reduced it at 0. They don't want any power. Similarly, there is another buyer who want 60 megawatt at zero price, and they have decreased it similar way. And you can also check at 20 rupees they want 20 megawatt, means they want the must power at 20 megawatt for the 20 rupees. Another is the C, they want 70 megawatt for the 0 price to 1 rupees 70. Likewise they have decreased, and at 20 rupees they want a 10 megawatt. Portfolio D, where it is just like a captive captive generator. If the price is in between 0 to 1, they have bid for the 40 and 20. And another you can see their side, that is in red one and negative mark is done. So that is for the sellers. Buyers indication is for the positive, A, B, C, that the portfolios are for the buyers, and D where it has been in the red, so it is just nomenclature of exchange where we have kept it in red marks for the differentiation. So if the price increases, you can check the portfolio D. If the price increases, what they have done, they are ready to sell at 2.1, 40 megawatt, and laterally they have increased. If the price increases at 2.5, they will increase at 60 megawatt. If price increases 3 rupees, it will be at 80 megawatt. Similarly, if the price reaches at 20 rupees, they will sell 120 megawatt. Another is the portfolio E, that is generator, who want to sell at 2.5. He is ready to sell 40 megawatt at 2.5. Similarly, he is ready to sell 90 megawatt at 20 rupees. Another portfolio just like E, it is also generator. So there is a total buy. What we have done, summation of A, B, C, total buy. Similarly, total sale, that is portfolio D plus E plus F. The summation of buy plus summation of sell, and this is the net transaction. Wherever it gets 0, means wherever the price quantum gets cleared, like you can check at price 2.5, there is a buy quantum is 120 and the sale quantum is also 120. So both are the matching at this instant, at this price. So this will be the MCP, market clearing price, will be the 2.5, and market clearing volume will be 120 megawatt. So net transaction means the total buy plus total sale. This will be the this is the algorithm how we calculate for the calculation of MCV and MCP. This is the graph. Red one is the buy one, demand side, and blue one is the sale one. So here also the intersection point you can see clearly. It is 120 megawatt. 120 megawatt is the clearing one, and MCP, that is 2.5.
See, this is very interesting part, and even after 8 years of operation of the exchange, and sometimes we talk to policy level people and CA, CRC, and we get surprised that they don't understand how we discover the price. I don't know to what extent you would have been able to see in the screen because their numbers are very small. But basically the idea is that we receive bids from say 1,000 people, out of which 800 people are buying and 200 are normally selling. And this is for a particular day, like today. So that time then there are numerous choices. People may bid at 2.01, 2.02, 2.05, 6.01. All these combinations are possible. We have given them combination that even at the third decimal place of price, they can bid. So everybody will have its own price limits, and even one person can give 63 prices for single time block. And we have to look at all 96 time block. All this we are talking about one particular time block. So but if you see any particular time block, the idea is we want to find a price at which maximum people are satisfied and maximum volume is satisfied. Because if the price is very low, then there will be not many sellers. If price is very high, there will not be many buyers. Basically, the clearing price of the exchange is the price at which maximum number of buyers and sellers are satisfied. Not in terms of number, but in terms of volume. So megawatt, highest number of megawatt, whatever price it satisfies, so that is the price you take as a clearing price. Because this is one of the biggest thing which is important normally and not at your level. You will be only worried that, okay, whether I am getting right price or not. But at the regulation, at the policy level, people have to understand that we are not choosing average of prices, we are not choosing median, we are not doing that. It is pure economics which is playing demand and supply, and the demand and supply where it is maximum being met is the price. Another complication comes when you see 12 areas in India, and all these 12 areas will have different type of transmission capacities across them, and you maybe at one particular time block we need 1,000 megawatt of transmission for power to flow from one area to another, because there are a lot of buyers at one place, lot of sellers at one place, so power will flow from there to hit the other place. Now here another issue comes that when we seek a transmission capacity of say 1,000 megawatt, but that much is not there, then we have to then change the price. We have to split the market. So normally when there is no congestion, there is one price in the system. But when there is a congestion, then there is a different prices in different areas. So there can be 12 prices in one particular time block, and there are 96 time blocks in a day. But what is the advantage to everyone is that you don't have to worry what others are doing. When 1,000 people are bidding, there is a lot of liquidity, because there are industries who have different kind of requirement. They want to purchase independent of what is happening outside. They are not worried about temperature. They are not worried about whether it is raining or not raining. But there are other types of consumers, like distribution company, whose demand varies with the weather. Like if temperature is more, their demand will increase. If temperature is less, demand will less. When there is a rains, then probably their demand will be less, because agriculture load will not be there. So there are all types of people, and there are some people who want power in the night. There are some people who want power in the day. So when all these people are coming, there is so much of liquidity. All these 96 time blocks, you have sufficient number of power to buy and then sell. So basically, when you make a system online, this is the advantage you get, that you create a system by which you standardize everything. Only thing is here, you can't have your own terms and conditions. Terms and conditions are defined by the exchange, and you will go by those terms and conditions. We cannot change for each one particular person. So your time for bidding is also fixed. 12 o'clock is the maximum time up to which you can place your bids. You can't change your prices after 12 o'clock. All these limitations are there. But with all these limitations, the value comes to all the people that they understand that once prices are fixed, it is fixed. Once it is for delivery, you cannot change it. So that is also advantage, because suppose for 1,000 people we give a choice that they can change, then nothing will be fixed. So all this actually, when you create an online system, you create so much of churning, you get so much of liquidity. So that is the value you are getting, and the prices discovered is most competitive. Another thing important here is, when you clear at one price, say 3 rupees is the clearing price, then it doesn't mean that you suppose have quoted 6 rupees. So you will be getting power at 3 rupees only. So you don't have to worry that if I give a price bid, I will get power at the same price. That is not the case which is there in the stock market. Similarly, for a seller, he also knows that if I give my best price, say 2 rupees is my variable cost or cost of generation, so I may bid at the 2 rupees. So he knows that if clearing price comes out to be 3 rupees, he will get 3 rupees. So this is also very big advantage, that you don't have to make a lot of strategy. You can create your own bids for complete month, complete year, because you know that this is my limit. Like we have consumers whose alternate suppose source of power is at some say 4 rupees. So they will quote at 4 rupees. They will say, okay, anything better than 4 rupees I am okay with the exchange. If it is more than 4 rupees, I will go for the second alternative. So all this is, the methods are a bit different from the stock market, but this all actually creates a competition and more competitive prices.
So what happens if somebody has quoted below the...
Then he doesn't get.
Then
He doesn't get.
his request is rejected.
Rejected. No. It is for 15 minutes. Every 15.
15.
No, it is for 115 minute. All 96. These curves, 96 curves are drawn.
There can be different prices, 96 prices.
Normally, all 96 time blocks have got different prices.
Suppose I bid in the morning, do I have an option to revise it?
No. See, up to 12 o'clock you can revise.
But after 12 o'clock?
No.
Now the bottom line is, what is the price difference if you take your average price, monthly price or yearly price?
We are coming.
Certainly there are losses that has to be bear by buyer or the seller. So there is at the central level there is a CTU, central transmission utility. So there are losses, what we call it point of connection, POC losses, that is around 1.5%. We are just taking example how the losses treatment of the losses is being treated, and when you bid, what are the factors that you should consider for at the time of bidding. So first is the losses that you should consider, because the bid, when you will bid at the regional level. Regional level means at the, like in Maharashtra you will bid for the western region, you will get the power from the western regional periphery. So basically when you or you are the trader, your nominated trader will, when he will bid on your behalf, he will consider the losses like regional losses, then the state losses, and if you are connected at distribution level, then he has to also consider the wheeling losses also. So we will take one example. Suppose a buyer X bids for the 100 megawatt at respect to, suppose we will consider for the western region periphery, X is the buyer. Example is for the NR, that is we will take it as for the western region. 100 megawatt he will get 100 megawatt at the regional periphery. Then there comes a POC loss, that is what we call the regional loss or the point of connection loss, that is around 1.5%. That will get deducted and it will come at 98.5 megawatt at state periphery, that is at Maharashtra periphery. Again there will be the state loss, that is we call it transmission losses, state STU. So it is 3.89, just for the sake of example we have taken 4.85.
करना है हमको देते हो यार गोयनका जी बैठे ना
So then there will be
बाकी के लिए गोयनका साहब हैं
so at your end what you will be getting, that is around 93.72. So whenever you have to bid or your trader will bid, they will calculate a reverse calculation they will do. So accordingly what you want, so he will consider all the losses. So losses is been considered that POC loss, state loss and the wheeling loss if it is at the distribution level. This is the market snapshot of IEX, how the participation is at IEX level. At electricity we have around 96% market share, and REC it is around 51% compared to the other exchange. State utilities like all the DISCOMs are around almost 29 states, and 5 utilities are our members, and in REC around 16 states and 5 utilities are our members. 311 generators are members. They are registered on exchange for electricity, selling of electricity, and in REC around 782. Industrial consumers are around 3,400. They are registered at exchange for the in day-ahead market, and around in REC it is around 793. Average daily volume, that is around 90 MUs, and highest when it was around 136 MUs that has been recorded for the one single day. REC it is around 3 million RECs that has been traded, average one, and highest I think it was 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs was in a month of December, so we have updated it. I think someone was asking about the prices that, so this is a DAM cleared volume versus MCP. When we started in 2008, the prices were around 7 rupees 31 paisa. That was the MCP. Likewise, gradually it is decreased and the volume has been increased. Right now you can see in the last financial year it is around 34,066, that is cleared volume MW, and where the price, average price you can check, that is around 2 rupees 731.
Additions are there.
This is the market clear. Yeah,
landed that is coming. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. See, in the previous slide, what we wanted to show that there is next slide. That this is about normally people have concerns that whether if you want to buy power, whether so much power will be available. So when you are consumer 1 or 2 or 10 megawatt, you don't have to bother. Even 500 megawatts people don't want to bother. Now even 1000 megawatt requirement they don't have to bother, because our average cell bids we receive is about 6500 megawatt, and out of which buy is required only for 4000 megawatt. So there is sufficient volume available for sale. So that is something which is not a matter of concern. Next. These are the area prices. So I talked about congestion, and then because of congestion prices are different. Now this state in Maharashtra, this has been in very favorable state, because here there is no congestion, lot of power is available in western region. So the prices are always lowest among all the bid areas. So this is something basic advantage of being part of Maharashtra. And last year this price, if you say average price in case of Maharashtra is how much?
249.
249. So that is also lower than other areas. The area where prices are higher is southern region, but otherwise this particular area prices are lower.
W2 region it comes. This is the increasing participations from April 12 to April 16. Around members plus clients are around 3,900, and among them there are open access consumers are around 3,450. So gradually from the year wise that has been increasing only. Participation at IEX, the number of consumers and generators we have mentioned figure. This is the data, state-wise data. So how many in a state, how many generators are registered, how many open access consumers are registered in the state. In Maharashtra, definitely it will pick up now. So right now we have only 7 consumers registered at exchange. As the industrial segment with IEX, there are around 29% textile mills are there. Manufacturers are 15%, metal is 24%, and chemical industries is 9%. Others are like auto components, cement, paper and cotton. So variety of industries are there on a exchange. They are regularly buying from exchange in day-ahead market.
No, it is coming. No, it is coming. It is coming. It is coming.
Don't bother us with too much information.
Yeah.
Tell us what is the price. क्या करना उससे?
No, for you it's not important. You can see they will not be able to see it. You have to tell.
नहीं दिख रहा है? Okay. So exchange last year what we have considered price, exchange price 2 rupees 49 paisa. That is average price for the last financial year 15-16. This landed sheet is for the express feeder what we have considered. Regional losses is around 2.49%. If you will convert in paisa, it is around 6 paise. Maharashtra transmission losses are 3.89, so it around 0.1 paisa. Wheeling losses at 11 kV and 22 kV it is 9% and 6% at 33 kV. So it will around 24 and 16 paisa. Whereas regional transmission charges, that is POC, it is around 0.25 paisa.
Why you have not mentioned the percentage of wheeling loss?
Which? 9% mentioned, na? And cross subsidy for the express feeder, it is 1 rupees 49 paisa. No, because right now that 1 megawatt, because may not be a case to case, it depends on case to case.
Also an express feeder for 1
Yeah.
50 paisa, 150 will not be charged.
1 rupees?
15 paisa for express feeder.
No, express feeder it is 1 rupees 49 paisa, cross subsidy it is there.
You have written, but if it is not an express feeder, then
Then it is 1 rupee, just I will 4 paisa. This for the non-express. Then it will be 1 rupees 9 paisa. So that is the basic difference in cross subsidy. Other charges are almost same. Only cross subsidy is different. POC losses are same. That is 25 paisa.
4 rupees 75 paisa. Okay.
If you are injecting, then you have to bear injecting losses. If you are buying either of, not both. So, हाँ sir.
और इसमें मिनिमम कितना लोड होना चाहिए?
1
मेगावाट
and above.
और वो स्लॉट जो रहता है 15 मिनट का वो फिक्स है, इसमें भी फिक्स है।
तो वो तो bidding वैसे scheduling. This is the cost benefit analysis for the industries. What we have considered for the 1 megawatt, it may vary industry to industry depending on what rebate they get.
Benefit analysis everybody is doing now. They are not considering the rebate which is being given by the utility. We should consider the rebate and then show the cost benefit analysis.
Actually, industry to industry, that also varies, sir.